Thank you for joining us for another podcast, Daniel Bernabe Daily. To inspire, motivate, and encourage people to obey God's word and serve others through their God-given gifts. Please subscribe to receive more new content each time we upload a new video on our YouTube channel, audios on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and other platforms. Thank you for listening or watching. We honor your time.
Hello everybody, this is DB Podcast. We have a special guest tonight, Anna Course. Anna is a friend that we met on Facebook. Then we have a chance now that we can have an interview with her. And then we have a wonderful topic, Anna. Welcome to the talk show, Anna. How are you doing tonight, Anna?
Oh, thank you, Daniel. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on your show. And wonderful to connect. And how about yourself? How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, Anna. Anna, how do you see yourself in this year 2024? As you know, the topic for tonight is about learn from our mistakes, and then how to turn mistakes in 2024 into success for 2025. This is the topic for tonight, Anna. And I'm glad you can join us to talk about that. Another question for you, Anna. What is mistakes for you? Everybody say mistake, a different approach. What do you understand the word mistakes in your own?
Thank you, Daniel. Well, mistakes are a learning opportunity. They're a learning opportunity in helping one, and for myself, see where maybe I have not prepared as best as I could when setting goals, and there could be a mistake that comes up, or a challenge. But I see mistakes as learning opportunities, and a more efficient, perhaps, and also, but mistakes are a good learning opportunity.
Great. I agree. That's it, Anna. And then, as for me, mistakes is when you try to do something, not understand, you try to do something, and then you do not, for the first time, you don't do it the right way. Sometimes you don't know the procedure. You try in your own perspective, and you fail. Then, you need to do something. You don't do it the correct way. It could be mistake in grammar, mistakes in life, in every situations. As you just said, I like it, is opportunity. Whenever you fail to do it good for the first time, what you do, you try again. You try to do it another time. Remember, many inventors that do great things for this century, they failed their attempt to create many things. For example, when many scientists want to launch something on the universe, they don't do it for the first time. They failed, and after 3 times, second time, third time, fourth time, and they do it right? And in the same way, Anna, many people make mistake for 2024. Maybe they didn't reach the goals. Maybe they didn't prepare well for 2024 to reach the goals this year. But how those people can turn those mistakes to fix those mistakes and to go for 2025, Anna?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, Daniel, you mentioned something which really is learning things and also learning the right way, doing things the right way. And a lot of times, there's so much information that's out there right now. We process information as a human from so many different channels on social media, through conversations, through news outlets. And so there's so much information out there, and sometimes, in the busyness of all the information and trying to properly assess or process the information and apply it to our own work or relationships, even that could set us up also, to perhaps not see something that we could have seen and and didn't anticipate or prepare for a mistake, and doing things the right way, learning from a reliable entity or in education. And also, I think the other thing too is that when mistakes happen, it's a lot of times also because we're so hurried. We live in a very fast-paced world, and with AI, and as much as it would be more efficient for us, and having the technology, the evolution of technology, right at our fingertips, we live in a very fast-paced world where we're so at times in a hurried state. Yeah. And when we're hurried, it is setting us or oneself up to potentially make a mistake, and not see things that they would have seen if someone wasn't in such a hurried state. So you get a chance to step back a little and work through efficiently and carefully, in attempting to not make mistakes.
Yes. Yeah, I agree, and that is something that I understand. You say that when we make mistakes because we don't have the right information. But this is true, because the information is the obstacle that make us make mistakes. And sometimes we ignore the right information, or sometimes we don't have it, and then we try to do things on our own, even if we know the right way. And we can get a solution different ways, but we say, let me try this on my own, even if we know that you have to put the cable where you told to put it to the laptop or to your cell phone to charge it, but you try another port, and then it will never work because you told you have to fix it that way. In the same way in life, people say, I have plans, I have projects. I would have realized that, but there is no plan. There is no discipline. You know what I'm saying? There's no consistency. And they say there's no conviction. They say, I'm going to realize my plan. And they do it in the way. They don't follow the proper example. They don't read books about that. They don't read, they don't listen to anything, any people that already make the way. Is I'm going to do it my own way. Sometimes that can be good, but they already have a way. Everything that you see in this life already exists. There's nothing new. Everything already there. Someone already made it. You can learn from that person, or you can try to do your own way. Sometimes, like this time you fail. But for this year, many people make mistakes. Do you have a plan for this year? Didn't realize, Anna? A project that we have for 2024. You didn't realize it because you missed something. You missed some information. Can you spend more? Can you tell us more about that, according to your own experience?
Yes, thank you. Yes, and I really have learned from my own experience is that the more inquisitive, curious, asking questions, for clarification, if there's something that even, in the minute detail of something where I might not have a thorough understanding, or if I might have a question mark, I've learned that instead of just accepting the information, and if there's something that I am needing clarification about or further explanation, I've learned that it's for me in this year in 2024, it's helped me to be able to ask questions, and ask questions clearly, to be able to receive the proper information, in terms of what knowledge I'm trying to obtain, or information I'm trying to obtain, to be able to better apply in my own work, and also to have a good understanding. I really believe that there is less room for error and less room for making mistakes.
Yeah.
We're all human, and we're going to make mistakes, and
Yeah.
that's how we learn to improve. And sometimes those mistakes are a really good learning opportunity and experience in order to be able to help us grow as individuals.
Yes.
And so for me, for 2024, that's something that I've been more aware of, in recognizing the more questions I ask for further clarity, or if there's something that I may not have a good understanding, or I feel like there's a question mark, then I will ask more questions. And I think that will help also when it comes to relationships. It's a relational experience, as well as when we're applying ourselves to our work. If there's something that is not making sense, if it's an equation or something that we're learning for the job, and it's not making sense, to be able to apply it properly. When we ask questions, and obtaining further information, we receive that clarification, which will also help us in having a good understanding and essentially preventing from making mistakes.
Yes, correct. And then I can say, Anna, thank you so much for explaining to us all this information. And then I can say, making mistakes is not bad, but making the same mistake over and over, that's the issue. You know what I mean? Because you can make mistake in one thing, but do it a second time in the same thing. That's the issue. And then for me especially, I believe it could be a project that we want to realize. There's something we call priority. If you don't put the priority first, the thing that you want to achieve, you don't put it first, you just do many things in the same time, you will not realize that. It's like you get a project to buy something, and you have the money here, and sometimes you go to a market, oh, let me buy this. And then you forget it's not the thing that you really need, that you really want to buy. But because you like, sometimes I can say, I like my emotions drive me. I get the money, I say, let me buy this. But it's not the thing I really need. The money was there to buy a specific thing. I need to let the money go to buy what I need. But I want a lot of voice inside my head. Like, do that. You have to get consistency, discipline to say, I'm going to make this. I'm going to do this. And then when you make mistake, oh, I got the money, I spend it, now I cannot buy the things. For example, you need to buy a new car, and now I got the $2,000 saved, I have to put more, now I spend it, I have $10,000, now I'm saying now $20,000 I spend all. And then this is the kind of mistake sometimes people buy things that were necessary, then they're always late to buy what they really want. And I believe a lot of things happen from our own experience. We lack of consistency in a clear vision of what we need to achieve, and then the priority is the key that will help us go to the point that we need to achieve. For example, myself, I'm a pastor. Okay, the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God. Okay, say seek first things that can please God first. The Bible says, I have to love God above all my heart and love people as I love myself. And then I have to focus the thing. I give time for myself, time for my family, time for God, time for friends. And then if I don't use those times, you say, what is my priority? My priority is to spend time with God first. God will give me clarity clarity, I can go directly to what I need. But if I don't focus my mind on what I really want to say, let me give priority first, which is God. Second, myself. Third, people. And then I just do many things at the same time. I will not go to the right way. I can make mistake because sometimes you can have things to do. A friend call you, oh, let's go to this party. And is that what I plan to do today? I plan to do my own stuff. And then you just go to a place that's not your plan for today. And then as you know that everything you're gonna do is every day journey, is a routine every day to achieve your goal for 2024 or 2025. But if you messed up the day, you say, I'm gonna do that. Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do it. You procrastinate for tomorrow. And tomorrow something happened, you don't do it again. What happened? You lose all your day, and until the months come, you do nothing because you have specific goal, specific agenda to do things. And when you realize that was your fault, because you were not focused too much about your plan. You say, if that happened to me this year, I will not let that happen to 2024, for 2025. I will concentrate myself. They tell me something, I will not do anything else. I have to do it every day. That focus to do something. Many people have planned to lose weight, right, Anna? People go to the gym, and sometimes go to the gym after, I have to go to the gym. How can I go to the gym today? I have an appointment. I have to do something. But you say at 4 o'clock go to the gym. Why stop you from not going to the gym? Because you don't give priority to your plan, and that's mistake people doing all the time about their own plan, their own projects. Different thing, different things.
I love that. That is so true.
Yeah. What the message you can say to people that have dreams and aspiration they didn't realize for 2024? Basically, for me, I got dream aspiration I didn't realize for 2024, and then I believe this is the one thing that happened to me, lack of focus, lack of priority. And how about other people? It could be different aspect. How you can encourage those people to have a focus mindset to say, I made a mistake this year, or to fix it for next year to do it better. What do you think about that, Anna? Tell us something about that, about those people that have to do something for 2020.
Yes, thank you, Daniel. I love all of what you've just shared. It's all very on point. And I think, the key words that you had stated, consistency is defined as it is part of a routine, and also it is the focus and the prioritization, and having like structure. When I teach a class, for my students, we have to have our daily routine, and we have to have a sense of structure for the class. And it's like that for life. That's something that we apply for our lives as well. And as much as possible, we might have a detour, here and there, things come up, they in life and in adulthood, there's always something that comes up. But the point is to have that that routine, that focus and structure, to be able to stay consistent, and I would say also confident. Confidence is a big player in all of this, because we might lose steam, for keep moving forward. There are times where we might not be feeling well, or not having enough rest, and starting our day, or something could make us feel that we don't want to keep pressing forward, and pressing forward. But those things, and understanding that those things can happen, it's having the confidence, and understanding that it's okay to have those moments, where we're not feeling well, and it's not a time to just sit back and once we're back to our energetic selves, and having taking some time off, it's important to stay in the game. It's important to stay consistent and keep that confidence, in moving forward. And I think that's the character, in building up someone's confidence plays a big part in our character, and how we conduct ourselves and how we show up for ourselves. Because no one's going to show up for any one self but ourselves.
Yes, correct.
In the way that we need to. And that goes for showing up with anything in our lives, in our work, in our relationships, and as who we are as individuals. And so I think that is, you really touched on it as far as, the prioritization is very important.
Yes.
Having priorities and having routine, because there are so many distractions. There's so many things that can distract us. We're, tied to our phones and all these devices day to day, and could take a text message or a email or a phone call or something when we're in the middle of a deadline, and it's really having that focus and dedicating time. And sometimes what I do is I have an app that I use that I actually set up time segments for if I'm working on my book, for example, in writing for my book, I'll dedicate 2 hours of focused time, for example, towards my book.
Okay.
So it will help us, it'll help me stay, with the consistency of a routine, because there are distractions, that are always present in the day-to-day life. And so I think that, having something that helps being able to track, where our time is spent, and, if we do go off our routine, we can get back on our routine, but it's a way to help track our time and be able to make the most use of our time and maximizing our time to be able to have a successful 2025.
Great, and great input, and I will appreciate that. And then
Thank you.
yes, people should, my pleasure to listen to your beautiful input to that. The people must understand you have to get a timer. Timer is, as you said, you dedicate 2 hours from your book and then 2 hours for something else. That's very amazing. And then, and I think it's about, talk to me about your book that you just said. I said your book, I didn't know about your book. You just did the finished or is in process of writing?
Thank you. I'm working on another book. I have one book that has been published, and it's the Queen Bee, and my chapter. It's a multi-authored book. My chapter is on authenticity,
Wow,
and and I have another book that I'm working on as we are talking,
yeah,
and that one is more about character development and emotional well-being, and that one has right now a tentative published date of April 2025. I have another book that I'm working on, a collaborative subject for dance, and the art of dance. And so I have collaboration of a couple of people, a couple authors on that book that I'm working on as well. But authenticity is something that I really do emphasize, as far as the whole thing about being true to ourselves, but also how we're showing up for ourselves, with ourselves, but also how we show up towards others.
Perfect.
And it's really important to understand that.
Mhm.
Sometimes the way that I describe it is when we look at ourselves in the mirror, it could be when we're getting ready for the day or getting ready for a meeting, or, when we look at ourselves in the mirror and we see, how are we showing up for our own self?
Yes.
How are we showing up for our own self? And then how are we also then showing up for towards, like in front of others, when we're in the workplace, in public, in any venue or any event, anywhere, where we're meeting others or people that already know us, family, friends. It's so important to grasp that, because what I learned is that oftentimes people, and this goes back to confidence too, sometimes one might get intimidated, or one might not be in a comfortable state to be able to communicate or collaborate with others that they just met, or have their true self, showing, radiating their true self. And so that also shows that it's a confidence building skill, but it shows that we're all very, very unique, and we all have something to show. That is so important to understand that, because oftentimes, people, and I'm just speaking in the general right now sense, people compare to, someone that is of a celebrity, or they will compare to, someone that is of another status, and rather than really expressing their true self and showing up as their true self to another. And that is very important. That's very important in everything, in every relationship, and every time we meet others or collaborate with others. It's so important to understand authenticity and what exactly that means.
Okay. And then that's very good. I believe it's a wonderful topic. Now we enter about authenticity. And I believe the next show we're gonna talk more about that, because this is related to your book. Then we can present the audience that book, and you can show the cover. They can tell them how they can find that book. We just reserve that great, wonderful topic for next show, because you can do it probably before this year is over. People can know your book. They can go to Amazon, whatever. You can buy that book, because I love that topic, authenticity, because you have to be ourselves, not the clone, not somebody else. Thank you, Renat. That's wonderful. And then I wish you success for your 2 books, especially the first one, the next one that's going to be released in 2025, April, as you mentioned. And I believe that's gonna help you to do something different in 2025, because you did something in the past, you can do it again. And as you mentioned, Two things are important: consistency, focus, as you said, because distractions are everywhere. But with consistency, you're gonna be able to finish your book without any interruption from outsiders. Anna, thank you so much for joining us for our show tonight. And then where you are is afternoon, where I am is at night, because you're different locations. Anna, thank you so much, Anna. Anna, what is the last word for a few seconds you can tell to listeners to end the show tonight?
Thank you so much, Daniel. It's always a pleasure to have this time, and also be able to share with others, and have a good 2025. I think what will be my vision and my goal that I would like to be able to share with others is really to embrace change, and also set clear, defined, asking questions, and embracing change, and setting measurable goals.
No, that's very good, and I thank you so much for being part of our podcast tonight.